Good evening students. Today I am going to teach you the limitations of dimension analysis. Previous classes I have already discussed the application of dimensional analysis. Now let us find out the limitations. The first limitation is the method can only test, actually this method can only test the dimensional validity, but it won't tell you whether a mathematical equation related involving the physical quantities, that equation may be dimensionally correct, but that physically it may be incorrect. Let me show the example. Suppose you know the formula for kinetic energy. K is equal to, all of you know, it is half mv square. Suppose I can take K is equal to 5 by 2 mv square. Clear? See, this equation is actually a correct physical equation, but this equation is not physically correct. But if you check dimensionally, both the equations are correct. So that's why the first point is suggesting. Similarly, you can take the example like other examples are there, so you can take. And the second limitation is the method does not give any information about the dimensional constant k. Was that? In your derivations already I have told you, we have derived a relation. T is the actual formula is T is equal to 2 pi root over of L by G. But by the method of dimension we can only find T is equal to K into L by G. You see, this K is, we cannot find out by the method of dimension. It can only be found out by experiment. So that's why it's a second limitation of dimension analysis. And the third one is, it fails when a physical quantity depends upon more than three physical quantities. Suppose there is a physical, let's say, you know, the physical quantity, let's say force depends upon, let's say, if the force depends upon three physical quantities, let's A, B and C, then we can find the relation between A, B and C. If force depends on another physical quantity D, then we cannot find out the dimension exact dependency of F on A, B, C and D. That is the third limitation. And the fourth one is the most important limitation. It fails to derive relationships which involve trigonometric, logarithmic or exponential functions. Like there are mathematical equations. Let us take the example. In your later chapter you are going to find, that is in your wave motion or simple harmonic motion, we can find this equation. Y is equal to A sine 2 pi ft. This kind of equation cannot be determined, cannot be derived by using your dimension analysis method. Only we can derive simple relation like T is equal to 2 pi root over of L by G, or F is equal to 6 pi eta RV, or simply S is equal to ut. But these two equations we can derive by the method of dimension analysis. But this equation cannot be determined. If S is equal to ut, we can derive, but if it would be S is equal to ut plus half at square, then this entire equations cannot be determined by the method of dimensions. So we can only check the consistency here. But it is a useful tool. Clear? Up to what I have said, that is a useful tool. Students, now come to significant figures or significant digits. This is important in this sense that while reporting your result, your measured value in any measurement, you need to report it in such a way that it must contain the digits, those who are certain in your measurement, plus one uncertain digit. What is that meaning? Suppose you have calculated the length of or the diameter of a wire. You found the result is 2.913, let's say 2.913 millimeter, the diameter of a wire you have calculated. See here, suppose with the same instrument you measure 10 different observations, you will see most of the time these digits 291 up to these three digits, these three observations up to these 3 points won't change. Only the last digit it may change from observation to observation, it may vary. Like in first observation, suppose you have measured 2.913, second it may be 2.912, like that. So in that case, the first 3 points, mean your digits 291, they are certain, and this last digit 3, it is uncertain. So the number of certain digits here, it is 3, plus the first uncertain digit is 3, which is 1. So total number of digits means the number of certain digits plus 1 uncertain digits. So the number of significant figure here, it is 4. Clear? So there are some rules to find out, to calculate the significant figures in your reported value or in any measurement. Let me explain you all the rules. The first rule is all the non-zero digits are significant. Any non-zero digit, like example 1 to 1, 1 to 1, all the digits are non-zero, so it has 3 significant figures. 1 5, so it has 2 significant figures. 1, it is 1 significant figures. Now here all the zeros between 2 non-zero digits are significant. All the time remember here, these are the measured values. They are measured actually, that's why. Now you see here, the second rule, all the zeros between 2 non-zero digits are significant wherever the decimal point may be. Just take the example. Suppose in a measured value you got 20.005, let's say any kind of unit. It is a measured value. Remember, these are the points where measured value, we are dealing with the measured value. So any unit will be given. Only so I am discussing the number. Don't think units are not there. Units are there, but I am just reporting the values. So example 20.005. See here, this 000 all are within your what? Between 2 non-zero digits. Clear? So these zeros are significant. So total number of significant digits is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is the example. Here it is 5. Suppose in another example, let's say 1.00301. Let's say this is a number. In this case, see, this 0 is lying between 3 and 1, so it is significant. These 2 zeros are lying between 1 and 3, so these 2 are also significant. So here the total number of significant digits is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is second rule. And the third rule is if in this previous case, if the number is less than 1, these are the cases when the number is greater than 1. If the number is less than 1, then the zeros to the right of the decimal point and before the first non-zero digit are not significant. Yes, or they are insignificant. Like take the example 0.00135. Here the first non-zero digits after decimal point is your 1. Before 1 you have 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros are there. So these 3 zeros are insignificant. So the number of significant figure here it is 1, 3 and 5. So it is 3 number of significant figures. And the fourth point is the terminal or trailing zeros in a number without a decimal point are not significant or insignificant. This arises because of this concept, changing the system of unit does not affect the number of significant figures. Like suppose someone might change the measurement unit from SI to CGS. Then if suppose 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So in that case, if the trailing zeros would have been added, then in the first case it would be 1 significant digit, and the second case it would be 3 significant figures. So take the example. Suppose one measurement you got, it is 12 meter. 12 meter means your 1200, how much? 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters, so it is 1200 centimeter. Got? So now you see, because the measurements are same, exact, the same value of a particular length. So it must have same number of significant figures. That's why these trailing zeros must be insignificant. So here it is written the terminal or trailing zeros in a number without a decimal point. Here there is no decimal point. That's why they are insignificant. Now the trailing zeros in a number with decimal point are significant. The trailing zeros in a number with decimal point are significant. See 0.3500. This number is having a your decimal point. It denotes the precision of the instruments. That's why these two zeros are significant, but this zero is insignificant as it is left of your decimal point. It is conventionally it is taken. That's why it is insignificant, this point. So this will be your sixth rule. So here in this case it has 4 significant figures because this number is having a decimal point and the trailing zeros are significant. Now the sixth point is just this one, the example you can say the digit 0 conventionally put on the left side of a decimal point. Here it is conventionally put in. That's why this conventionally put in 0 is not significant. As in this example, the number of significant figure in 0.135 is 3. Got? And now the last point is the exact number having infinite significant figures. So let us understand what is the meaning of an exact number. The exact numbers, they are not rounded up. They are not rounded up numbers and they are also not the measured values. Then what are the numbers? Take me one example. Suppose the radius of a circle is given by the diameter by 2. So this factor 2, it is neither measured nor rounded up number. And suppose the perimeter of a circle is given by 2 pi r. So here the number 2, it is also not a rounded number or it's not a measured value. So in that case, you can report this 2 like 2, 2.0, 2.00, 2.000. That's why these numbers, they are called exact numbers and they have infinite significant figures. Clear? Now the last part of your chapter, this chapter, units and measurements, that is your rules for rounding up. So let me explain the rounding up rules. The rounding up rules is distinct. Suppose you got a number, let's say 2.863. Let's say 2.863. So if you round it up, you just see the last digit. You must see the last digit. If the last digit is less than 5, if the last digit is less than 5, then simply drop it. So your rounding up value will be 2.86 up to 2 decimal places. Now suppose the measured value is, let's say, 2.867. Now in this case, you see the last digit, it is 7. So if you round it up, your value would be 2.87. You just, if this number is greater than 5, then add 1 to the preceding digit. Clear? So here it is greater than 5, so I have added 1 with the 6, which is 2.87. And now suppose someone might question, in this case, suppose if the value is 2.865, then how can we round it up to your 2 decimal places? So in that case, you remember, you see it is 5, you see the previous digit. If the previous digit is an odd number, then add 1 with it. If it will be 5. If the previous digit is an even number, then simply drop that 5 and it will be 2.86. So these are the rules of rounding up your measurement. Got? Thank you.